Welcome back. In the last video, that is in part 1, we had seen how to connect to the H2 database. Now in this video, we will see how can we insert and retrieve data from H2 database. I'm using Spring Tool Suite 4, but you can use any version of latest version of Eclipse. Both are simple to use. In this video, we are going to do 5 modifications and they all are necessary and important. So we are going to modify the application dot properties, and then we are also going to modify the resources folder. And now first thing first, we will see the application dot properties file. Here in the last video we had forgotten to add one line, that is we forgot to add this spring dot h2 enable. And now here we have enabled the h2 console, and it is now made true. So this is the one thing. Second thing we are going to do is we are going to insert values in a file which is named as data.sql here only. So this file, whatever the data we are going to insert, is going to add into the table of the given database. So let's write this text file, and SQL query is insert into animal, okay, and then values. Now sometimes what happen when you use camel case for the fields, then the table in SQL automatically converts this camel case into the underscore. So before entering into this part, we have to see whether what exactly our database has created with what field. So first we will run this application so that we can open this h2 console from the browser, and here you can see that when I type localhost, our port is 8700, and the 8700 colon h2 console, and enter. So you will see one window wherein you have to test the connection. Yeah, we have to change our database. HTTP4 test connection is successful. Now connect to the database. Now here we will see the field parameters of the animal table. So we are mainly interested in the name of the column. So for that we will write a query, select star from animal not id. So run, click on the run, and then okay, you will see that id and animal type. So there is no underscore because we had not used the camel casing in this case. So just go back to our text file. So right there, id comma animal type, and now insert the values. Let us say id. I will write here 101 comma. Let's consider few animal types. I'm considering 3 types here. The first is the reptile one, okay, then give the semicolon after the statement, and then copy this line and paste 2 times. So we will have 3 records in our table. So just change the values 102, and here I will take mammals, and for the third I have taken birds. So just but this is very important. You have to save this file with the name data.sql, and the folder which you have to choose is under the src main and resources. So if you don't do this, your project may not run. So we have saved this file as data.sql. Now we will run. Oh, we have got an error. So the error is okay, The error is due to the duplication of this id. So now it's 103 for birds, and now the application will run properly. Okay, there is no problem, there is no compile error now. So what we did, we have modified this application.properties file, and we have added a data.sql file wherein we have inserted few data there. Now when you want to check the whether our data has been inserted or not, go to the h2 console, connect to the database, and here you will find that after writing this query, select star from animal, click on select and click on run, and you will see that our data has been inserted in the table animal in testdb4 database. So one thing is done, we have successfully inserted the data into the table. Now we have to retrieve the data. So for that, first of all, the most important thing is you have to provide the no argument constructor for your entity class, which in the last time we did not provide. So here now I am writing public animal no argument constructor for the entity class animal. So this is the most important thing, you should remember this, otherwise you will get an error. So this is done. So we did three things. Now there are two things remaining, and now the most important thing is you have to create now animal repository as an interface. So take a name as animal repository, which will extend the JPA repository. So here only you can click on add, and now I have added this JPA repository as you can see here. So the T is replaced by animal and ID is replaced by integer. Right, now you don't need to do anything for this file. This is enough. What you have to do, just only you have to create an interface, okay, and which would extend the JPA repository. Now the last thing is you have to create a class animal controller, which will give you the URL through which we can reach to the database. Now here it's a Spring Boot REST application, so we will take a REST controller over here, right? So we have imported the REST controller. The annotation REST controller is enough, but we will also give here request mapping annotation, like, and in request mapping we will add here, let us say animal type, because our main aim is to see what types of animal are there in our table. So now we will take another annotation. Before that, what we are going to do, we are going to create a method, a public method, which will return the animal types, which will, before that we will consider a public method, that is public animal, and the method name should be get animal type. Okay, now this is done, and what will be the return? What will it return? It will return the list of animals, but you cannot talk to the repository. For that you have to insert the dependencies. Dependency comes from animal repository. So here we have to wire the dependency, and that's also called as a dependency injection. And here we have to wire this repo as an object from animal repository, and on that repo we have called the method find all. The find all method is from JPA. Now we will import the list and choose the import list from Java utils. Now everything is done, but our return type is list, so we will modify it and the list animal. Now we have to write a return statement. So in the return statement, return list. There are several methods, we can call on the repo. So if you see the literature, then you will find a lot of methods. There are more than some 20 methods over there. So directly you can get the values from the database. You don't need to write much code, right? Yeah, for this method we have written annotation like get mapping, and here we have given /all. So we have taken REST controller, request mapping, third annotation is auto wired, and the fourth one is the get mapping, right? I hope you cleared what I mean. Now the last thing is what? Yeah, it's written the list. So we have done, now we have done our part. The all 5 changes or 5 things we have incorporated in our project, and now our coding part is over. Now we will run this application, and again we will go to the browser, but here now we are going to type localhost 8700, right? So I will write here localhost 8700, and now what we are going to take here now. See, remember what we have given there for request mapping and get mapping. So animal type /all. Okay, this animal type and all comes from the values given in the request mapping and get mapping annotations, right? Just click on this. Oh, we have received the data from the database. We have clearly implemented this project successfully, and now we can see that we have inserted the data and we have retrieved the data from the database. I hope you like my work. In the next video we will see Spring Boot to MySQL.